everybody. Today is the 7th of April, and this is Claire Paris with Paris Group Realty, LLC in Portland, Oregon. And today on our Dear Claire series, I am addressing all kinds of fun things. We're talking today about just where the status of the market is. And especially now, I think it's really important that you be aware that it is Federal Fair Housing Month. And today is the day that I'd like to just explain to you about fair housing. So April 11th, 1968 was when we passed the Fair Housing Act. And it prevented discrimination based on race, color, religion, or country of origin when buying a home, renting a home, or getting a mortgage. This is something that is hard to believe, I think, for people that are younger, but for those of us that are older, underwriting guidelines used to be quite crazy, and they could discriminate based on all kinds of things that they shouldn't have been able to discriminate on. In 1974, sex was added to the list of things you couldn't discriminate against. And in 1988, disability and familial status was also added. So how is this act enforced? So with this act, the creation of the HUD, what everyone knows of the Housing Urban Development, that oversees sort of, and they actively look for people that are violating this law. It's a national law, and it specifically says you cannot discriminate based on all of these classifications. And they put money behind it, which is a great thing. So there are people out there that will go to door and go door to door and check your open house and check your rental open house and make sure that you're following the federal law. On March 31st, so this all ties into what's happening now with the market in general, federally and specifically here. So on March 31st, $40 million was given to HUD to enforce the Fair Housing Act and also to provide grants for low-income housing. So it's a really big deal, and that just passed again on March 31st. So it's big news. Obviously, the coronavirus has eclipsed so many other news stories, but this is a bright light out there in the otherwise dismal list of things going on. As part of the CARES Act, which I'm sure you all are aware of, the coronavirus act that was just passed by legislature, it also ties into this in that they've included a 120-day moratorium on evictions, and this is the federal government, not city or state. And 180-day forbearance is available to you for both your mortgages for 1 to 4 unit multifamilies and also for your home specifically. And of course, that includes condos and townhouses. Really what it includes and why I'm talking about these in concert is because everything that falls under the purview of the Fair Housing Act. So that is FHA loans, VA loans, USDA loans, Fannie, Freddie, Ginnie, all of those are subject to the Fair Housing Act. They're all mortgage, secondary mortgage market providers. So if you need a forbearance or if you are looking at being concerned about being evicted, in all of those cases, almost all the loans right now out there are under that umbrella of mortgages. So I know this is a hard time, guys, and things are changing rapidly, but please reach out, and of course I'm here to help. A few other things you should know. I have talked to several servicers, and each servicer of mortgages is doing this a little differently. So you might call, say my statement on my loan for my mortgage has, I don't know, I mean, you can have all kinds of them, but say it's Wells Fargo. You have to call Wells Fargo specifically, and they're going to put you through an application process. Originally, and I'm telling you this because things have changed significantly, originally they would say, hey, we're going to postpone your payments. We'll postpone your payments for 3 months, 6 months, But at the end of 3 or 6 months, you're going to have to come up with that balance of those 3 payments all at once and make the payment, or they'll start the eviction process. Obviously, this is not helpful to most people, especially if you have a regular job or you were furloughed. You're not going to have $10,000 to pay for 3 months of mortgages. So what I have found out that some servicers are now doing is they're actually just taking those 3 payments and tacking them onto the end of your loan. So in essence, you don't have a balloon payment in 3 months. You just have 3 more months than you thought you were going to have on your 30-year loan, which is not a big deal. So I would love to hear from you, because each servicer is doing it a little different right now. So it just depends on what your specific, the person you make your payments to, what they're specifically doing. And then I've had a lot of people reach out about, should I refinance right now? So mortgage rates are really good right now, especially if you just have a regular old house or condo. Interest rates are real low, so below 4. So if you need a recommendation, I'm happy to give it. And then, of course, just so you guys know, I am still working. I am still here in the office. We've been deemed essential services by the governor, which means that I get to still work. I can still show property. I have a mask. I have a bunch of bleach wipes, and I have lots of hand sanitizer. And of course, we keep our 6 feet distance when we look at properties. We're also using something called Matterport on all of our listings so that you can view things from the comfort of your own home before you decide that you want to go out and brave it and see it in person. So it's been fascinating how much the industry has innovated to try and keep up with all of the new social distancing laws, and will continue to do so. Of course, reach out to me with any questions. I'm here for you. I'm happy to help in any way I can. And if you have any other pertinent real estate questions or just general real estate questions, please comment or direct message me. I would be happy to address it. And you guys all stay safe and stay sane, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.